Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today. As I wanted to do an episode for you on the astrology of the second half of 2021, as well as looking into some of the themes of 2022. Now, 2021 has brought us new energies with Saturn in Aquarius, Jupiter in Aquarius, also Jupiter entering Pisces. We've had Mercury retrogrades in air signs, and we've had an ongoing connection between Saturn in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron in Aries. And the second half of the year is going to bring us more of these themes, but I wanted to give you a heads up on how it's going to be different moving into 2022. So just to begin, we'll have our third and final Mercury retrograde of the year in late September into the middle of October. And this is where Mercury will station retrograde at 25 degrees of Libra on September 27th and travel back to 10 degrees of Libra on October 19th. And every Mercury retrograde this year has been in the air signs, which is working with the ways we speak and what we say, reframing our communication, learning from the power of words, understanding what is going through our minds and the ways that we can be perceiving things in a different way or a new way. Mercury retrograde in the air signs is also helping us stay open to new ideas, new projects, new communications, new conversations, just essentially really supporting what our minds focus on. And so this is going to be a Mercury retrograde period around conversations, how you work with someone, how you interact, what you share, what you say, how to be responsible with your words, and how to understand how the words may be received on the other side. So keep in mind that this Mercury retrograde is going to be powerful in perhaps getting to the heart or the truth of something for you, and to understand more of what it is you really want to share and express that is your truth, that states your position or your ideas clearly, and that this can open up some ongoing dialogue that maybe has been needed or wanted, or perhaps it's even something that you didn't realize would become a longer discussion or bigger topic. So those are some of the themes of Mercury retrograde in Libra that will be happening again September 27th to October 19th. Now, the other strong energy to be aware of here is in the upcoming Venus retrograde that begins in late December when Venus is in Capricorn. So Venus will begin retrograde on December 19th at 26 degrees of Capricorn, conjunct Pluto. And that's why it's a big frickin' deal, because this Venus in Capricorn is going to be working directly with Pluto for, we'll call it most of December into January 2022. And this is a very intense energy around work, career, finances, investments. This is a powerful energy in how the financial systems are working and where they're really at, because Capricorn gives that reality check. And this is where there could be very big, powerful changes in the financial systems, in our money, in what the truth is around the economic layout and the economic picture. So again, late December into January of 2022, very strong financial energy here. So this means it's a really good time to keep saving, to stay aware of your financial responsibilities and commitments, to honor those, where you're not looking for shortcuts. You're aware of your own financial picture. There is certainly a seriousness here to the energy. And Venus being a personal planet and being about our personal money, the money you have in your account, the money you have in your hand, the cash you're holding, means that there is going to be some very big developments here around what we own, what our values are, what our priorities are, how we make money, and how we spend money. And I feel like this is going to be evident during the holiday season, of course, which is always a big time in the economy. But this energy is bigger and longer lasting than simply December and January, because it's working with Pluto, and it's also working with the energies that started in 2020 when Saturn and Pluto were conjunct in Capricorn. So I feel like this is where there's more Wall Street meeting Main Street. And what does that mean? And okay, what does it mean in terms of the money that you already have, the bills you have, your obligations, your debts, credit? All of these come into play. This is a bigger picture energy. This isn't simply about what's in your immediate environment. This is about the world at large, the bigger economic energy of the world, and again, the truth, okay? The truth about what's real and what's not, and that relates to Pluto, where Pluto is essentially destroying the structures that aren't able to withstand new energies, and Pluto is about transformation. Now, we could put this into context in how we spend our money, where there's a lot more digital currency. And I don't simply mean cryptocurrency. I mean how we spend money digitally, online, the different ways that we now use money for purchases, whether that is through the Apple Pay app or PayPal or Venmo or all these other ways that we're essentially exchanging financial energy with each other. The end of December into January is going to be huge in these world changes. So I don't mean to create fear because we don't know how this is going to play out, but one of the strengths of Capricorn is being conservative, not taking a risk, understanding what you need in order to take care of your family, your daily life, your bills, your mortgage, the electric bill. This is the energy of being very responsible and not overspending. So as we move into the second half of this year, it would be perhaps wiser to be saving more and to be more aware of the money that goes out and what comes in, because I think this is going to be a big deal. And I think there's going to be some permanent changes in not only the financial markets and the economy, but there's going to be changes in our own world in terms of what we pay to live our lives. And we're already seeing inflation. It's already happening. It's already here, especially at the gas pump, especially for consumer goods, especially for food. All the things that we need to live our lives are going up in price. And I feel like this is a very good time to think long term. Another Capricorn strength is that you're planning for the future and you're giving yourself allotments in the planning process, meaning this month my budget is, or this month I spend this and I cut back on that. And I know it's different for everyone and that there are many variables in place here, but what I am noticing in the astrology that I want to share with you is financial conservation, where you're saving more when you can, if you can, because I know that's different for everybody. But what is happening here is that the world is going to be changing in a big economic way. And what do you need to do in your own world for financial security, financial responsibility? What do you need to do to prepare? What can you do? What are options for you For example, what can you sell? What can you get rid of? How can you focus on a potential side hustle? It's interesting because what I'm feeling here, and I'm going to go into this, is that there's going to be new options. So I realize that when we talk about money, you could start to feel anxious, right? Are you feeling a fear? Are you feeling something in your nervous system that's like, oh my gosh, I feel powerless. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. All of that can come up, and it can be from the root chakra. It can be from your nervous system. It can be related to things you've experienced in your life where you weren't sure how to make ends meet and living paycheck to paycheck, which is very real for millions of people. And what I'm saying is that there's going to be new options here. Focus on the new options. Go into the creative solutions or what you can do that will support you in a realistic manner. And I feel like one thing that we're shifting into is how we can help each other more one-on-one, where you are connecting with more people in your community or in your immediate environment. You're working one-on-one with others to do something of service, to provide something that they can't get elsewhere, that no robot can do, that no AI can do. It's understanding that we need each other for certain parts of our lives that can't be replaced. A few months ago, I had to take my vehicle into the dealership for routine maintenance. And when I scheduled the appointment, the woman, the mechanic, she was saying how the appointments are being scheduled way out, about a week or 10 days in advance, because they can't hire any mechanics. There aren't enough people with the skills anymore to be mechanics, meaning people aren't really going into trade schools like they used to, or they're not sure how to use their hands, or they're not investing in this skill set. She says, we've been trying for months to hire a mechanic, and we've even tried to lure people away from Michigan and Vermont, and people aren't coming here yet. So there are areas where you need certain people with skill sets, and I feel like we're entering a time period of really appreciating what you can do with your hands, with your brain, with your whatever you've been to school for. It's sort of like there can be this new appreciation for the talents of being human. And then if you put this in context with everything online, everything we do on the computer and on our phones, all the apps we have, all the conveniences of being online, so much of our lives are online, but we still need people. And we still need skill sets. It's like when there's something wrong in your house, you need a plumber, or you need someone who knows how to fix the heater or the AC. So there's things that we still need that are very important that can be overlooked or not appreciated. And a lot of these trades are vital to our everyday life. So just keep in mind that as the world continues to shift and change in very big ways, there's still ways that we need each other, and we need the human touch, we need the human skill set, and we need to place value on that continually. So we're moving into an era where there are many turnovers in jobs, where there perhaps is a desire to have that side hustle or a passion or something that you just love doing and you make money doing it. All of that is very supported in however that looks for you, if that resonates with you. Of course, this is general information, so it won't pertain to everyone. But it's a reminder that even as our lives become more digital and automated and convenient, we can't overlook some of the essentials that we need. And I feel like part of this energy we're in is a reminder of the value of human skills. And this is especially true in healing modalities, in energy work, in anything that supports people to regulate their energy, to understand more of who they are, to tap into their unique essence. That is also vital at this time. So those of you who have felt that energy or who have intrigue or passion for any of those areas of your professional development, that is going to be a worthwhile investment. There's going to be more and more people turning towards healing and support, turning towards body work and what they can do to take care of themselves. More people who are going to want assistance with their career or professional direction. More individuals who want to tap into how to take care of themselves in new ways and in holistic ways. So know that these are also very important energies for each of us to practice and be aware of, even if it's only practices that you do for yourself. Even if you're simply aware of how you can take care of yourself and move energy through you, that is very important right now because we are moving into some very significant energies in 2022. Now, before I jump into that year, let me finish with some other highlights here of 2021. We've had the ongoing connection between Saturn and Chiron, where Saturn in Aquarius and Chiron in Aries have been in a sextile throughout this whole year. And what that's been supporting is understanding more of who you are at a soul level, how you're different, more of your own skill sets around things that you maybe think are outside the mainstream. And that's exactly what's needed right now. We need more individuals who are willing to be themselves, take a risk on themselves, and to develop their unique skill set. This energy has supported healing. It's supported understanding your ability to be independent, to go it alone, to do something on your own. Saturn in Aquarius brings in the structures to do so and the answers, whereas that Chiron in Aries is revealing more of what we can see in ourselves. Maybe where we felt an insecurity or we haven't felt confident in doing something, the Saturn sextile is giving us a bigger picture viewpoint, meaning put this into the grand perspective of what humanity may need right now. And then trust yourself. Trust that you can do this. Trust that you are uniquely capable of doing whatever is requiring your time, energy, and attention, especially if that is something new and different for you. So this has been a very supportive energy that's been in the background because we've also had the ongoing squares between Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. Now we're going to have the third and final square also in December during that Venus retrograde conjunct Pluto. So the third and final square is Saturn is going to be in Aquarius at 11 degrees, squaring Uranus retrograde in Taurus at 11 degrees. This will be their third and final exact square happening at that 11 degree mark. And this time Saturn will be direct and Uranus will be retrograde. Now it's also important to note that Saturn in Aquarius is the ruler of Capricorn energies. So it's the ruler of Venus in Capricorn retrograde and Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, and is squaring Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So basically, let me paint the picture that there is a significant financial change happening the end of the year into early 2022. This is a very big deal, and that is very in all caps. This is revealing what isn't real, what doesn't work, what's been falling apart. Perhaps it's been covered up. Perhaps it hasn't been fully disclosed. Perhaps there have been a lot of ways that things have been looking for new solutions, or let's try this, or let's print more money, or how about this option? And the energy here, especially with Saturn and Capricorn, is that this is what it is, a huge reality check. So there's the potential here for very big financial energies collapsing and falling down, for there to be a permanent shift in the world markets that has been in play throughout this year. And so this is something that the economists and financial advisors have already been on top of. They've been monitoring it. I was speaking with one of my financial advisors a few weeks ago, and he said, we've already passed the tipping point. It's almost like putting one more hair on the scale and everything falls over. He's like, that's where we're at. We don't know when, And we don't know exactly how, but we see it. All the information and a lot of evidence is pointing to this. And he was referencing other economic cycles. So please keep in mind that the financial picture is changing very dramatically. And again, I'm not trying to create fear, because I know that anything around money can really go into our sense of security and affects all areas of our lives. But what I want to share with you and give you the heads up is that the astrology suggests that there's going to be very big financial changes worldwide that affect us from the top down, from Wall Street to Main Street, and that this is where we're going to see things change permanently in the financial markets. Now, I am not a financial expert, and I am not even a financial astrologer. I've recommended before that you perhaps want to check out the work of Raymond Merriman. He is over at mmacycles.com. He is a financial advisor and a stock market analyst and an astrologer. So he is an expert. Many of you have already connected with his work and you're very impressed and you know that he knows his stuff. So again, mmacycles.com if you want more specifics, if you're looking for anything about even say gold and silver and crypto. He is the expert, as well as other astrologers who are very good at that niche. But what I want to give you is the understanding that we have some big astrology here that's really going to shake us financially. What can you do now? What is important to you in terms of not only your life, your family, your loved ones, but your realistic needs? Now, as the energy shifts, we're going to see what has been a facade, what has been weak, what hasn't been true. And we're already seeing that because of what we realized in 2020 with the global lockdowns and quarantines and all of us needing to return home to do our work. More of that is likely, more of that is possible. And there are strong energies here that relate to some more shutdowns in 2022. So let me go into that energy here as we look ahead into 2022. But first, let me make a connection here. So Jupiter has been in Aquarius, and Jupiter is the expander. Opens doors, shows us new ways of doing things, brings in resources, wants us to expand and grow, and has a lot of support. So Jupiter in Aquarius has been opening the doors on the Aquarius areas of life. And you can look at that in your own chart as where Aquarius is being supported for you through whichever house that Jupiter in Aquarius is moving through, and how it's bringing people together. In a practical sense, there are more events now in 2021. There have been more weddings, more travel. People are gathering and getting together. There is more socializing and connections. This energy wants us to enjoy life and wants us to enjoy each other. Now, this energy of Jupiter moving into Aquarius opens doors. However, we know that Saturn is also in Aquarius, and Saturn will close doors. Saturn will say, this isn't working. Let's do something else. Let's do something better. Saturn brings in the reality check of what is true, what is working, and if it's not, it shuts the doors down. So throughout 2021, doors have been opening because of Jupiter in Aquarius. But Jupiter is going to move back into Pisces and move quickly through Pisces, in fact, in 2022. And this then makes it more clear the work that Saturn in Aquarius is going to take on. So Jupiter came through, said, get together, enjoy life, see each other, have some fun. Then in 2022, Saturn in Aquarius will move further through the degrees of Aquarius and shut down what isn't working. So this suggests that there's potentials for more closures, because as I said, Jupiter opens the doors, but Saturn closes them, and Saturn is going to have a stronger effect in 2022. So depending on when you're listening to this, I'm recording this the end of July 2021. In the remaining months of 2021, if there's a trip you want to take, friends you want to see, family you want to visit, any type of gatherings or get-togethers, it's better to do it in 2021 because the astrology suggests that 2022 means that more Aquarian venues and energies are going to be tested. They're going to have more challenges. They're going to be closed. And so this is where we're going to see business models shifting as they already have. You can look at it in the restaurant business, where already there are so many delivery and takeout options. We're seeing this in brick and mortar retail stores that have shut down. You can see this play out in concert venues, sports stadiums, movie theaters, amusement parks. Any of these business models that have relied upon thousands of people coming through the door, they are being dramatically tested. And throughout 2021, they've been figuring out if they can regain traction. Is this going to work? What can we do? Where do we close something or get rid of expenses? Where do we have to release a part of the business or hire less people? What can we do to minimize expenses in order to keep this operation going? And of course, as I've said, Jupiter in Aquarius has been helping with that and saying, oh, try this and how about this over here and maybe add this and see what works. And so it's added in this air of optimism. But 2022 is when we're going to see where businesses cannot recover, where they haven't been able to figure out a new approach, where their business model doesn't fit into this new climate. And of course, how they're also impacted by the bigger scope of changes in the world. Now, Saturn in Aquarius is also the supply chain, and no doubt you've heard about the energies around that. Whether you've seen the articles and the visuals of the cargo ships at various ports or cargo ships that are waiting off land and can't get to port. Perhaps you've heard about various other ways that supplies have been affected in terms of delivery and shipping methods, whether that is through truck drivers or trains or planes. However, this energy has been showing up is all Aquarius, because Aquarius is how the bigger systems work together, of how you would have a distribution plant and how you'd fill up products into the trucks or onto the trains, and then they would be distributed all over the country, all over the world to various stores, etc. That's all Aquarius. All these complex systems that are composed of various requirements and needs are all being dramatically affected now. And we're going to see more of these shifts and changes as Saturn moves into Aquarius further in 2022, but there's no Jupiter there anymore. There isn't the support, there isn't the positivity, there isn't the additional resources. I feel like there's going to be a lot more closures in 2022. Obviously, this would affect the jobs. This would have ripple effects in communities, but we're already seeing the signposts if you're really aware and observing. So what this means is to stay open to other potentials and solutions, to other ways that you can cut back on your supplies or your resources. Also at restaurants, they have fewer options on the menu, and that's part of this energy too. So think of it as 2022 is going to have fewer options, fewer choices, potentially more closures, and this is showing us what is working and what isn't working, where we need to be adaptable and shift into new business models. This is why a lot of services and companies online are thriving and doing very well, because they already have that online platform and presence. So that is another thing that is becoming more evident, is how the Aquarius technologies are becoming more of our daily life rituals. It's more of how we expect to live our lives. How many times do you look at your phone during the day? You wake up and look at your phone probably, or use the apps, or look at what is happening on social media. Aquarius is how we're connected through the internet and through technology. And this can have its benefits, of course, and then it can also have its drawbacks. So what we're looking at as we move into 2022 are the new ways that we're going to be living our life, what we're going to have as new ways to connect with each other as we figure out the new ways of going about our daily lives. And the other strong energy that I want to mention is how Neptune in Pisces is going to be making an exact opposition to Neptune in Virgo at 22 degrees in the USA's chart. Now, I have a separate playlist for you on YouTube that talks about the USA's upcoming revolutionary energy and how the United States is changing permanently. Now, with this opposition between the natal Neptune and transiting Neptune, what that means is that the issues around health and healing are very big. And throughout 2022, there is the potential that we're going to once again really be aware of our health, of our immune systems, of what our bodies need. We're going to be very aware of how to take care of ourselves, of what it means to live in a healthy manner, of what supports us. And that's through vitamins, herbs, minerals, good food, good water, all the essentials of having a healthy body. This energy is very strong. Now, the energy around health is stronger in 2022 than it was in 2020. So just sit with that and consider that. There is the potential for another health crisis. There's the potential for something coming through that affects us and again creates the need to either quarantine or just be more aware of our health. And I'm not sharing this out of any desire to create fear or worry. This is one of the gifts of astrology. We see these cycles coming. We understand that there's a heads up here on what the big themes could be, on what the potential cycles might be. And back in December 2018 is when I was talking about how the world was going to change forever in January 2020 and throughout 2020. So we have a heads up here. We have an understanding, and the heads up helps you with the preparation, but also with the bigger mental strength. A lot of this is a mental game. It's the mental strength to look at what you're capable of, to trust yourself, to trust your body. I was having a conversation with my son a few months ago where he was afraid of germs. And I could see how the past year deeply affected him. He's only 6. And I thought, no. I am not going to have him be programmed by the fear in the world or to take that on or to live with that. No. I'm shutting that down. So what I have been doing with him, I've been reprogramming things for him where I'm telling him, your body is so strong. It's amazing how our bodies can get sick and we take care of ourselves and we rest and we do what we need to do, and then our bodies are stronger because we're really strong. And I've been giving him this message multiple times so that he isn't overwhelmed by the fear energy that's been moving around the planet. And so I just talk with him on a regular basis to reprogram these messages and remind him he's strong, he's healthy, our bodies do a great job of healing themselves, we take care of ourselves, we make good decisions, we don't take unnecessary risks, but your body is made to be healthy, and your body knows how to be healthy. And this is exactly what we have to remember for ourselves. So I say it to him, but I'm also saying it to myself, because we cannot buy into this fear. We cannot go into all these other energies or places that will only continue to sink us down. So this is an opportunity to be mentally stronger, to be emotionally stronger, to be aware of your responsibilities and how to be responsible, to prioritize your body, to prioritize your health, exercising, working out, doing things that really feel good for the body, and how we tap into our own life force. And another big theme is adaptability, how we can adapt to these changing times, how we can find the new solutions, how we can be open to new ways of living our life or to adjusting our expectations of our lives, where maybe you go into your favorite restaurant and they don't have the full menu that you're used to, but you know you can order something that is delicious and you want it, even if it's not your favorite dish that they're no longer serving. So adaptability is very important right now, and it's going to continue to be important into 2022, as well as having a practical approach and to finding ways to stay balanced, emotionally balanced, mentally balanced, so that you're able to work with the changes that can feel so overwhelming. I mean, this has been a really big time. And the astrology gets bigger into 2022, 2023, 2024, with the Pluto return happening in the United States as well. Plus, Saturn in Aquarius will be conjunct the moon in Aquarius in the US, and the moon is the public. So there are going to be permanent changes in our daily lives. We're already experiencing that now. We're already getting used to some things and adapting and knowing that this is how life is changing and how we can stay strong and stay confident in our capabilities to figure it out as we go. So we're going to have some new solutions, new opportunities. Understand that that is part of the gift right now, where if you try to circle back to something hoping it will work again, it might not work. It might not be an option. It might be closed. There's things here where there's no going back to certain parts of our lives that we knew before 2020, but we're moving into new potentials, new solutions, new ways of living our life. And I feel like one of the best things you can do is focus on your simple joys. What are your simple joys in life? And this can be sitting in your garden, enjoying a good book, going for a walk, looking at whatever's around you, the vibrancy, the color of the earth. Maybe it's a really good piece of dark chocolate. Maybe it's your favorite tea. What connects you in a grounded, clear way to joy? This can be through art and your creativity. This can be through music, exercise, working out, healing, body work. Make a list. You might even find that this list is what grounds you and keeps you strong during the big changes that we are moving through. Because all you do is come back to this list to look at what can I do right now that will lift my energy or lift my spirits. I actually have this on my phone, and one of my apps, I have a list of things that make me happy, of when my energy sinks or when I'm feeling tired or whatever it might be. I remind myself of where I can focus or turn my attention that feels good. And it's truly as simple as reading a book or by an author I really like. So find your simple joys. Find what you turn to and what you need to take care of yourself, to support yourself, and know that this could be a reference point, something that you continually reference, as well as a list that you continually develop and grow as you start to see all the other simple joys that are all around you that maybe we've taken for granted, that maybe we just didn't understand really made us happier or enjoy life more. So we're not out of the woods yet. There are big energies ahead. Again, the gifts of astrology is we have a heads up. We have an understanding. It won't be as big of a surprise, or it won't be as much of a shock, especially to our minds, our bodies, all parts of our being. So I hope this has been beneficial for you in terms of understanding where the energies are showing up the biggest over the next few years. Please keep in mind, I did a podcast episode for you on that Neptune energy. And I hope that it supports tuning into more of those energies for yourself. And then, as I mentioned, there's also a playlist on YouTube talking about the big energies in the USA that we've never experienced before. And I present the energies in a historical context where you can see the historical events and what unfolded during previous cycles. But this is a more intense cycle because not only is it the Pluto return with Saturn conjunct the moon in Aquarius, but it's also the Neptune opposition. So very unprecedented times, as we've heard a million times already. But this is where astrology is showing us the way and helping us navigate through these very big times. We are in it together. I am going to keep doing this podcast, and I'm so grateful for your time, energy, and presence here. So you can find out more about me over at mollymccord.online, and also you can listen to the channeled messages I offer for free at the Galactic Center, which is part of my website at mollymccord.online. You can join it for free, and I release these messages as I receive them, and I hope that they also support you and remind you of your choices, your power, and your light at this time. So I'll see you back here soon, as I have a podcast every Wednesday and Monday. In the meantime, sending you much joy, reminding you that we're in this together, that a lot of us are holding the same energetic frequency, and that is a very big deal right now. So I'll see you back here very soon, and I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.